This is honestly one of the craziest videos I've ever made. I don't even think I should post this video for free, but just to show you what my Discord is gonna look like in the future, I just decided to basically do this. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time that you're tuning in, my name is Lewis and I'm just simply documenting my trading journey. First things first, make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, share with a friend who is also on their trading journey, and let me know down in the comments how your trading journey is going and how your trading week went this week. Like you saw in the preview, I don't think I should really post this video for free, but I'll keep everything to myself until we get to the actual video. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at LewisVisuals_ and on TikTok at LewisVisuals, where you can see shorts of these videos and actual full executions on Instagram or on TikTok. I don't want to talk too much. We're gonna go straight into the sponsor of this video, then we're gonna head into the charts, and then we'll go from there. All right, the sponsor of this video is, as always, Tektronix PCs. If you're looking for the best quality PCs with the best parts in the market, make sure you check out Tektronix on Instagram. Their website is in the works and should be up very soon. Link is down in the description for their Instagram. You can also search them up at Tektronix PCs. Use my discount code LVFLIP for 10% off on checkout. If you want to check out, just hit message them. They'll help you out with everything on their Instagram. I am also going to put up a video right here of when they were helping me with a new PC case and some added RAM to my PC right there. And then recently they added a new cooler to my system because my cooler went. Make sure you check out Tektronix PCs and let them know that I sent you from the Lewis Visuals YouTube channel. Apart from that, let's head straight into the Discord. As you can see, I did get the My Funded Futures $1 account. This does not mean that I'm associated with them in any way, shape, or form. I just won the contest. I think everybody won, called marketing. But the Discord has been very active, even me playing a little Minecraft last night. But I am just grateful for everybody who's in here. Please make sure that you join and that you're active in here and just keep the conversation going. We've been doing that very well recently. So you can tell we have 154 members. The link is down in the description. It's a free Discord, so you are more than welcome to join, as well as my premium Discord. If you want to have access to all of this in here, you hit join premium. Everything is in there. I'm not doing one-on-one classes right now. I'm just gonna have the premium Discord. That's about it for right now, and then testimonials are in there as well. But like I said, it's free. Check the link down in the description and join. Now let's head straight into the video. All right, so like I said, this may look a lot different. I did change up my chart colors in here. If you want these chart colors and everything, join the Discord and let me know in there. I'll send it to you. I know this looks crazy, and this is because I was actually back testing yesterday, the day before, and this is the result of it. I actually did it in the Discord, so shout out to you if you joined and watched it. As you can see, this is the results of the back testing that I did. I talk about the trades, all the trades that I think were the best trades of each day for the whole week, and then we'll just go back on it with all the annotations still there before I clear them up for the new start of the week. Honestly, even the levels I called last night for what was gonna happen on Monday ended up getting hit, with this -2 getting hit here, and I know it doesn't look like it did, but it definitely did get hit. -2 got hit inside this fair value gap, then it dumped all the way down to the draw on liquidity that I had from all the way up here and here. Then now I think we're bullish because there's an SMT at the low. But let's head into the days of the week and then we'll talk about everything. Right before we get into the start of the week and everything, we had a Monday low all the way up to a Thursday high, with a Friday reversal all the way down to that Monday low. So it was a pretty hectic week, but there was also an SMT up here on Thursday, and I'll talk about that once we get to Thursday. But very clear that we were going to end up shorting for Friday, but it is what it is. We'll just continue to go from there. Either way, let's just head straight into Monday and then we'll talk about what ended up happening here on Monday. All right, here we are on Monday, and Monday was annoying for me because I took a loss, but not because I was wrong or anything like that, just because they decided to re-sweep an area and then make the right move or make the move up. So I just had to eat the L, but this is the trade that should have been taken on that day. It was extremely nice. I'll go into the lower time frames in a second, but as you can see, we did have a SMT here on this low from Wednesday, so I knew we were going to end up being bullish towards the beginning of the week. So I was looking for longs here on Monday inside of this 1 hour, 4 hour, and I believe also this breaker area here. I wanted to see them come into it and then pump. Let's head down to the 15-minute really quickly just to look at what price ended up doing, and not too much commotion in here, but once you get to the lower time frames, you'll see it better. Either way, the actual anchored move was inside of here on the lower time frames that brought us down to this area. As you can see, we came down to this area perfectly and rejected from it. I took a long inside of that area a little bit higher, but they came down a little lower than I expected and they took me out. Then they went on the long, so I just had to eat it and then just basically live with it for the rest of the day. But like I said, inside of fair value gap in here, already a higher time frame level with the levels lining up. Let's head into the 1 minute really quickly just to look at what it looked like. As you can see here at the open, there was a short that did line up here inside of this standard deviation, but the real move ended up being a combination of this standard deviation down to the -4 and a combination of this one as well, with price coming inside of there and just heading higher. I took a long in here, somewhere in here, and I had my stop, I believe, below this. They came back down one last time, took me out, and then went. So it was just shitty price action, I guess. But if you took this entry here, you would have been fine. Maybe stopped that at break even if you moved to break even at that point, but it is what it is. Also targeting just the new day open. You could have targeted stuff like up here at the high from Asia, but the new day open was a perfect target for a 100 points, 1 to 9R, a 10R. Basically, it was a very clean delivery after they took out that low again, or after they came back down one more time and then went. But it is what it is. After that, I just got off, literally just got off, because I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna participate in this nonsense. And that is what happened here on Monday. Not too much going on. Like I said, had already been framed that we were gonna be bullish from that SMT here on Wednesday, leading us to this big long. Then I just expected us to come inside of here and keep heading higher, and that's exactly what ended up happening. So let's just move on straight to Tuesday now. Here on Tuesday, it was pretty annoying as well, but I believe I caught this, if I'm not mistaken. I did catch this here on Tuesday. I caught the long, but I did not enter exactly at this point. I'll show you exactly where I entered, but everything was pretty much the same here for the move on Tuesday. It was pretty self-explanatory. I was still bullish after Monday. I was still looking for price to move a bit higher, and that it did. Price continued to move higher, and I'll show you what happened on the lower time frames. But if you can see here, this here is a 1 hour rejection block, as you can see, halfway point, and that is the PD array that ended up being used on this day, pretty much being the only thing that was used on this day. But let's head into the 1 minute really quickly just to show you what ended up showing up. And here we had a couple longs that did end up showing up here, and shorts at the same time. There was a nice short that did end up showing up here. This standard deviation here could have been used. I don't know what higher time frame PD array, probably just the Asia highs, and the SMT would have been a good point to get in for shorts if you were targeting shorts, and got a couple points, probably a couple, like 80 60 80 points around here on the short. I know a couple of people did take this, but this is the long that I took. I took a long inside this fair value gap all the way up to this high, and then I got out at that high. But this was the best entry, really. There was no other better entry than this, probably, if you had just the rejection block as your limit, and that was the best entry. But as you can see here, we have this standard deviation coming down and lining up perfectly with the halfway point of the 1 hour rejection block, and price just came down, did its thing, and then just took off. Easy 80 points, basically a 6R, and probably could have been better on the RR. Yeah, you could have got away with 10 points, but just barely. You could have been better on the RR just with a 10-point stop. Obviously very risky, almost got you stopped out, but 8.2 RR could have gotten a little bit more out of it, honestly, inside this fair value gap, and a little bit higher above this high up here. But yeah, that is the move for Tuesday. I did catch the long, but not with this amazing of an entry. The video should have already popped up. If not, I'll put it up right now. But that is what happened on Tuesday. Now let's head straight into Wednesday. And like I said, I just like the fact that I think I'm gonna do the videos like this. Honestly, you guys can learn a lot from it, and I'm back testing at the same time. So let's move on to Wednesday really quickly. All right, here we are on Wednesday. Now Wednesday was another day where you could have just been looking for longs, honestly, and as you can see, a previous day level here ended up working out with that 1 hour rejection block coming back into it in the afternoon. But the move for the AM session happened here at around, what time is this, 9:45. With this move lower, we had another rejection block here, this time a 15-minute rejection block. I don't know if this was it was also a 1 hour rejection block, as you can see. So the rejection blocks this week were very good and very pivotal to the moves. As you can see, we had this move standard deviation lower, which gave us these levels down here, as well as the standard deviations from Asia in itself helped, and you could have used the standard deviation right here from London as well, all lining up perfectly with that 1 hour rejection block to then head into longs for about 128 points and an ARR 50-point stop, just based on the entry that I got on FX replay. But you could have gotten a way better entry point basically at the rejection block itself here with a 10-point stop. As you can see there, 138 points, even better. Amazing trade entry, amazing trade, very clean day as well. It ended up moving very well, but I believe on this day I got stopped out early because I wasn't patient enough to wait for price to get to the PD array that I was looking at. But let's head to the 1 minute really quickly and just look at what happened down here. Like I said, a lot of choppy price action up here, which is probably where I got cooked. And then here at around I remember I did take this here. I took this entry here, and then they came back down, took me out break even, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. Next thing I know, they just soup it. SMT at this low. I remember there was an SMT with ES here on this low. Like I said, right there we had an SMT on that low. Then price just continued to take off. I guess another entry would have been right here on the fair value gap and the CISD to then send price higher. But like I said, I had already lost my 2 trades and that break even, so I just had to live with it. Standard deviations lined up perfectly with the 1 hour rejection block. So rejection blocks are very good, very pivotal to use if you have the right bias and you just understand how to use them, honestly. So yeah, that was Wednesday. Okay, now let's move on to here Thursday. And Thursday was a very important day because we had the SMT, and I didn't even notice it here on Friday. But let's wait till we get to Thursday to talk about the trades that could have been taken on that day. Now, there was 2 trades that could have been taken here on Thursday, a long and a short. Now, being bullish here on Thursday, you would have to just wait for price to come back down into this area down here, and I was very patient but not patient enough and ended up getting stopped out on Thursday. But as you can see, there's 2 very good entries. But let's frame the trade itself. We ended up having a move up during Asia and London, retracting a little bit right before New York AM. Then price takes off, hits this order block. I believe it is a 1 hour or a 4 hour order block. I believe that's a 4 hour order block. Yep, it's this 4 hour order block that lines up perfectly with the -2 up here of this standard deviation that I won't talk about in the video just because I'm giving you too much free sauce. If you're not using this, I don't know what to tell you. As you can see here, that is the order block. Also lines up with this standard deviation on the lower time frames. As you can see, the standard deviation lines up with that order block. Then price reacts off the order block and completely dumps all the way down to the 12 o'clock open, which was where the other entry was. And if we hop into the smaller time frames, you can see everything. Here you have a rejection block entry. Boom, sends it down. You use the standard deviations to get the -2, which is another reversal point at the liquidity point, which is inside that fair value gap itself, and where the key level is, then the key open level is there as well. Price reacts off of that. Very good entry right here for longs, and you just take profit above this high. Very, very simple, very easy. We also had an SMT below this low with ES, so extremely clean day on Thursday. Now, coming on to Friday. Friday was very interesting to me just because, like I said, I was not expecting them to dump like that. I was actually bullish on Friday, but my mistake was I didn't look at the higher time frame on ES on Friday. I looked at the higher time frame on NQ, and I'm like, okay, this looks like we're gonna keep going higher. If I would have paid attention, and I'll show you right now, as you can see, this is the trade that could have been taken on Friday. I know it's crazy and it was only hit today, but still an amazing trade entry. I'll talk about everything that happened because we had news at 8:30 as well. But before I do that, let's head to like something like the 4 hour real quick, just so that it's a little bit cleaner. I know it's crazy price action right now. I'm probably gonna have to hide my drawings. Yeah, I had to hide my drawings just to show you this, but let's bring up ES really quickly on the 4 hour. And here we go. As you can see, the all-time high was taken on ES up here on that Thursday, and NQ was lagging behind. There was 2 SMTs. There was an SMT with this high and this high right here, which obviously showed us we were going lower. Now there is an SMT with this high right here and this high, which was what should have told me, okay, we're going short here on Friday. And I was going long the whole day, and you already know what happens when you try to catch a falling knife. But as well here, if you look at the higher time frame with this standard deviation and a standard deviation over here, the -2 lines up perfectly from where we were going to reverse from there. And I think the next levels that we end up hitting are either this one up here and this one here. Either way, this one here lines up with this, and this one up here is just higher numbers that we can potentially reach. That is how I kind of figured it out. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's why they dumped. But let's head into the lower time frames really quickly just to show you what ended up happening here on this day, morning session of Friday. As you can see, you could take this right here, which is the actual correct standard deviation, to get us above this high and inside a, what is it, a 3-minute fair value gap, 5-minute fair value gap, I'm not too sure, which was this 15-minute fair value gap right here, basically perfectly swooping that liquidity and hitting that reversal point to then send price lower. At the open, price basically came back into the rejection block, which is up here, then started to dump, giving a perfect entry anywhere. Literally take a short and let the knife drop. After that, you could have caught however many points you wanted, but if you use the 15-minute manipulation leg right here, you can see that it lines up perfectly with this low down here, which was the low from Monday, as well as this manipulation leg, which lines up with the low from Monday. So that's how I knew that here on Sunday we would open and then head higher with this standard deviation lining up perfectly with this fair value gap, tapping into it, then drawing all the way down to that low. Now there's an SMT at that low and price is moving higher. I think now that we're heading up to this high here inside this fair value gap. If we reverse from there, fine. If not, we're going to this high up here. But that is basically it for the week. Like I said, if I have any videos, I'll put them for every day, but this is the best that you'll get for free, honestly, here on YouTube. So if you like that, please leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, join the free Discord, follow me on Instagram at LewisVisuals_, all the good stuff. Please let me know if you learned anything, or if you could send it to somebody that's gonna learn something from it, send it to them as well, because I tried my best on this. And yeah, it's just more back testing I gotta do, just completely continue to back test like this, just so that I can continue to build better intuition and better analysis with what price is doing. But apart from that, I'm very thankful and grateful for everything that happened this week, and we'll continue it next week. Honestly, like I showed you, I just got a free My Funded Futures account, so might as well use it, and then we'll talk about everything in the next video. But if you enjoyed it, please smash that like button. Like I said, check out Tektronix PCs, use my discount code LVFLIP, and that's pretty much everything that I have to say for this video. If you enjoyed this type of video, let me know down in the comments and I'll do it again. But apart from that, I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.